Welcome back to San Antonio Living. They're an icon of an era filled with the birth of rock and roll and poodle skirts. Your parents or your grandparents may have even owned one, and maybe you do at this point. This morning, we're rediscovering Airstreams, the lovable travel trailers that could be seen on roads during summer vacations. And thanks to some local restoration experts, Airstreams are getting a second chance at making their mark on the road. Earlier this morning, I stepped into the past in our back lot. Take a look. Well, how cool would it be to hit the road in something like this? It's kind of like traveling back in time in a beautifully restored Airstream. And I want to introduce you to the man behind the restoration process. This is Eric Stoltz. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Oh, you're welcome.
This is gorgeous. It's a beautiful... It's not a machine. It's just a beautiful piece of metal, a big hunk of metal, which is what it is. But you did a great job, and it makes me feel like I'm back in the 1950s a little bit.
Yes, it's certainly all metal, but aluminum to be exact. Aircraft aluminum, in fact.
How did your connection with the Airstream start?
Well, I guess as a kid, just we'd see them on the road, and as we would go camping in our pop-up rental trailer, we would play a game called See Who Can Count the Most Airstreams between my brothers and myself.
And so a couple of years later, you started Texas Vintage Travel Trailers, and you're out in New Braunfels, and basically you spend your time restoring these Airstreams.
Yes, well, in the process of restoring my first one for myself, then I realized there was a lot of people doing this and giving up and getting frustrated because they couldn't complete them. So I saw a need for that, and I thought, well, I want to help these people.
It's gorgeous. You did a great job. You want to show me around inside?
Sure, I'd love to.
Okay, first of all, give me some stats on this trailer. What kind of Airstream is it?
This is a 1955 Airstream California Cruiser, which is the model. And it's quite unique because it has what they call a whale tail on the rear end. Front being a 13 panel and the rear being a 9 panel. They only did the 9 panel in California for a year and a half, I think.
Let's go see inside.
I'd love to.
Okay.
Shelley, when you walk inside, you'll notice that everything in this trailer is original, as found, other than fully detailed, taken completely apart, and put back together with 2010 mechanics.
So this is what it would look like if I had an Airstream and I went camping with my family. I love everything. It's very kitschy, and I think that's kind of the fun of owning an Airstream. You did a great job. It's really interesting. It looks completely different than what we have today as far as an RV goes.
Well, that's because nowadays the RVs are all mostly made of plastic and things like that. This is all aircraft aluminum, and we took the luxury of stripping all the paint out of the interior and polishing the interior as well as the exterior.
So this is fully functioning. You've got a vintage stove, you've got the sink, you've got the refrigerator, you've got a working bathroom, and you've got a full-size bed as well as 2 twin beds in the back.
And as most importantly, air conditioner.
Yes, they didn't have that in the... Did they have that in the 50s?
No, this trailer did not have air conditioning until I bought it.
So what does it take to redo something like this?
It takes about 2.5 months of labor, and average price for a full restoration with all 2010 mechanics is about $35,000, somewhere in that range.
But it's like owning a piece of history that will last forever.
Well, they're built like aircraft, and aircraft are built for lifetimes. So if you maintain it and take care of it, it will last a lifetime.
Well, this is, it's really taking me back. But people use their Airstreams for different things, and all of them are redone a little bit differently. So we've got one of your clients here who's got a different Airstream. Let's go take a look at that. Okay.
Shelley, this is Ben Jenkins.
Hey, Ben. Nice to meet you.
Owner of One Fast Buffalo.
Very good. How did you guys meet?
Well, this is a trailer that I started as a spec trailer,
okay.
And when it was about 60% complete, he and I met, and I brought him in on the project so that he could do the finishing touches and put his own little personal taste into it.
So you were just a guy looking for an Airstream. How come you had this thing about the Airstreams?
You know, it's something I've had on my bulletin board at home for years and years. Kind of one of those pictures you have, and someday I'll have that. And the time just kind of finally arrived, and I said, you know what, this is the year. And my wife said, you know what, do it. You worked hard in your business, and do it. And so we went looking, and we knew we wanted something vintage, which is pretty hard to find. And I found Eric an ad on the internet, and I saw it, and I instantly knew, man, this guy knows what he's doing.
How was the process for you? Was it... Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of, it's just like, kind of like, you know, building a house, and you get I'm a graphic designer, so for me it's probably a little bit more fun than others, but just, you know, helping to pick materials, and there's so much you can do inside these to customize to your own taste. And so why I'm so happy about mine is that it's an extension of my style and what I like.
So what do you do with yours? Do you camp? Do you travel around?
Honestly, I can say it's the best thing I've ever bought in my life.
Wow.
Because
I want one now.
I mean, it's just that I use it so much. I use it during the week. I work in it. I'm a graphic designer, so I just have my laptop and a wireless card, and I can travel around and look and find things, and then I can sit down and work and get focused on my work. I can work in a state park. I can work wherever I feel like working that day.
I love it. It's like a mobile office that doubles as something for the entire family.
Yeah, on the weekends it just goes from my mobile office to, focus time with the kids and getting my kids. In this day and age, it's so hard to get your kids out of this. I live in the city, so it gets my kids out of the city and playing outside, and we're together, and so it's just, that's why I say it's the best thing I've ever bought, because it's completely useful for my business, and then it's the best thing that my family and my kids, of course, just love it.
I love it. It's taking me back to the old values that we used to have in this country. So let's go take a peek inside, because yours looks a little bit different than Eric's, and you've redone yours a little bit differently as well. It's got a little bit more of a modern touch.
The way that Eric did this was really genius, because unlike his restored trailer, he completely gutted it and rebuilt the thing. And when he did that, he really thinks about how a person like me or his client is going to use it. And so I literally wouldn't change a thing about it. It's got a lounge in the front so that I can use it for business. It's a big lounge. I can meet with, honestly, 4 or 5 people in there, and it's really comfortable. It's like working in a coffee shop, but way more comfortable or something, I guess. And the design is definitely, he does it in a kind of a timeless, classic, modern style, I would say. So it definitely feels, mid-century modern, I guess you would say. But it's all new. It's amazing. It's completely brand new. And it's just, when people walk into it, they're like, wow. I mean, it's the same thing every time. Wow, look at that. And
so you've got the comforts of the office, and then when you're done working, you can turn it into a full-size bed up front, and then you've got the beds in the back, too.
What's amazing about this trailer to me is that it's so small. It's only 21 feet, and so it's super mobile. I can pull it around the city. I can hook it up in 5 minutes. I can take it anywhere really fast. But it's so spacious inside, because Eric is really good at not over... he doesn't put too much in it. He puts exactly what you need. He really saves room for a big fridge, because these days it's nice to have a big fridge and not have to pull around coolers all the time. I asked him to build a special bunk bed because I have 3 boys, build a special bunk bed in the back, and he's like, no problem. He put that in. I said, hey, could you put this here? He's just so fun to work with, because he's really listens to how you want to use it, and then he can do it, and then he does it in just a craftsman way.
I'll tell you what, it's beautiful, and it really makes me want to maybe borrow it from you. I do want to give you more information about Texas Vintage Travel Trailers. If you would like to find out more about what Eric does, you'd like to get your own Airstream, or you're looking for someone to refurbish one, this is the guy to talk to. Airstream Trailer Restoration with Texas Vintage Travel Trailers in New Braunfels. Check out the website. Lots of information there. txvintagetrailer.com, or call this number, 830-743-2420.